know our lore, and it's in the story. You'll get it. It's cool. It's a nice homage to the series. Okay. Oh yeah, it ends there. Okay.
That's the first clip.
Yeah. Thank you.
Back down. Get some time for some questions. There's another demo we're going to see in a second. It looks great, and I love seeing so much raw gameplay here, which is what a lot of people want to see at E3. So we got some questions from the global gaming community on Facebook that we're going to get to, and if you guys have questions, we'll get to you in a second. But let me ask a question from Facebook. First of all, this one comes from Tina Kovakova, and she wants to know, are there any playable female protagonists in the game?
So this is primarily bike story. We do have other playable characters that are played in select quests, but that's as far as we're going with today.
Okay.
We don't want to. There's some surprises in there. We don't want to ruin them. Yep. There are other playable characters in the story, but it is primarily bike story.
Right. All right. Next one comes from Chris Smith. He wants to know, what can you tell us about present-day Abstergo? How will it feature in the game?
So, again, we're not talking about present day or that kind of stuff just yet. At this moment right now, we wanted to focus on announcing the game, introducing the high-level concepts of the game, because it is a drastically different AC. And I can say that, and we can show videos, but this is why we have a playable demo. We want people to come and actually feel that the experience is really drastically different. There's a ton of stuff in this game. We know our lore very well. We listen to our fans. We pay attention to the feedback, to the forums. As harsh sometimes as they can be, that's okay. We love the feedback. We're here to make the best game we can possibly make for our fans and for ourselves. We take a lot of pride in what we do, but also wanting to pay homage to our fans who have been with us and who invest their time and money into our experiences. So we do listen. Having said that, more stuff will come as this campaign goes on. For now, we're really focused on Bike's experience, the birth of the Brotherhood, and ancient Egypt.
All right, one more question here, and then we're going to go to someone in the audience. Think of your questions. Gil Martins, I'm not sure if you can answer this, but will the game include online multiplayer, in parentheses, the Brotherhood kind of multiplayer?
So we do have, Assassin's Creed Origins is primarily a single-player experience. And we do have online features that are there to enhance that experience for sure. Again, later in the campaign, we'll get into more details about those online features, but it's a primarily single-player experience.
So not a full kind of separate multiplayer mode or anything?
No, we wanted to put all our effort and really nail this reinvention of Assassin's Creed. We wanted to make sure we got it right. In terms of scope, the game is absolutely massive. I don't think anybody will complain at all that it's that the scope is not massive. We're super proud of what we have, and yeah, I think people will play it soon and send us some feedback, I'm sure.
Looks cool. All right, tons more Facebook questions coming in. But I want to get to some folks in the audience with questions. If you have a question, raise your hand. We'll bring a mic to you. Let's go to the guy in yellow back there.
You go ahead and stand up.
Hi, I'm Justin.
Hello.
You were showing the demonstration where you can upgrade your weapons throughout the gameplay. Will weapons be destructible in this game? I mean, will they break? Will you have to fix them by picking up equipment to fix them?
Good question.
Yeah, so questions about destructibility of equipment or weapons. So we don't have durability or that concept. Instead, what we wanted to focus on is finding new loot and upgrading that way. So new levels. There's many, many different types of weapons, and each type of weapon, so there's 8 categories of melee weapons, 4 categories of ranged weapons. They have a drastically different playstyle, each one. And what we wanted players to do is that every time you find a new type of weapon, to start understanding how it works, to start understanding the combos that you can do with them,
people who just want to have different kinds of culture in music. So it has everyone involved for different reasons.
You had Beyonce, you have Shakira, you have. I was like, yes, Ariana Grande side to side. I'm like, let's do it, dance party. I'm gonna hook it up to my speaker and literally have a dance party.
Well, it's such a fun game. There's so much going on. I can't wait to play your song, Vivi. And thank you all so much for bringing this out and showing us this week at Ubisoft E3 conference. And here on the E3 floor, guys, we have a ton of games still to show you. Please, don't go anywhere. Woo!
We create machines that make every experience more intense and real. With Intel Core processors so powerful, you can redefine reality. Because the best feature of a gaming machine is the power to make you forget it's there.
Here's a couple things you should know about Twitch Prime. Exclusive content like skins, characters, and boosts from games you love, plus free games. Exclusive members-only prices on new release box games. Instantly stream thousands of movies and TV shows. On-demand, ad-free streaming of over 1 million songs plus playlists and stations. Free 2-day shipping on millions of items on Amazon. Free Twitch channel subscription every 30 days with ad-free viewing. Start your free trial today.
Welcome back to the Twitch stage, everyone. Kelly Link here, joined by Adrian, and we have my favorite segment of maybe the whole week. It's Dragon Ball Fighter Z, guys. And we have Tomoko here with her translator, Mike?
Yes, that is correct.
I'm sorry, I'm really excited right now, if you can't tell. I have been waiting for a Dragon Ball Fighter game like this, gosh, since the Super Nintendo?
Oh, thank you.
So Tomoko, what do you do for Dragon Ball Fighter Z?
ドラゴンボールファイターではどういう役割をしてますか？
私はプロデューサーをしております。
I am the producer for
You originally get introduced to the Gladiator Arena through the main quest line. So, Bayek, he's trying to lure out a specific target. And so he covers himself going into the Gladiator Arena to pretend to be a gladiator to be able to lure this person out. That's how you get into it. once you've gotten into it, it becomes optional. And we have a ton of bosses and a ton of rounds. There's a lot of cool gear to get to win through the Gladiator Arena, but again, it's the player's choice. If you want to keep going down this rabbit hole, you can. And if not, that's okay too. You're gonna miss out on amazing bosses, that's your choice. Here, we're seeing a new weapon, which is what we call a heavy bladed, so like a giant axe. You can see some of the combos here. Fighting an enemy with a shield is very different than an enemy with a sword or a spear. Here we finished the first wave, a new wave is coming, so we can see the shields are bigger. There are different types of shields. There's guys with hammers. Here you can see at the bottom of the screen, we've built up this adrenaline meter. So this is kind of a meta strategy in the fight system where you can build up this meter to unleash massive attacks, or what we call fury mode. Each weapon has its own style of devastating attacks or fury mode. And eventually what we want players to do is to, here we go, this is it. Yes, yes.
Round of applause for the team.
There we go. See, very poorly timed swings. The person who played this, I don't know, we're gonna talk to him after this. He's standing just off stage. So here we can see two massive dudes. Yeah. This part is hard. Even for me, it's very hard. But you can see, so a little detail. You saw him get knocked to the ground. Things like status effects, like knocked to the ground, stun, breaking open their shields. All of this are properties of weapons, properties of combos and attacks that we want people to learn that depth and master it. And every weapon has its own style. So here we're able to knock him down, which allows us to start unloading. But he still has his shield up. So here we want to play with things like having the guy be committed to a move before going to his back and doing a critical hit. So there we go, so the waves are done. Now it's onto the boss of this area. So we'll let the introduction play. But again, just to repeat, we are introduced to this through the main quest line, and then after this point it becomes an optional piece of content. As now Bayek has the right to enter an arena, it's up to the player to continue or not. So we go with the slaver. So as you'll see, every boss has their own unique set of combos, unique weapons. Keep in mind, this is, I'll say it, I'm super proud with what we have, and I'm really happy that we're able to show it off. It is still a work in progress. We still have, we're still working on this thing. We're tuning and balancing, working out the wrinkles. But we're super proud to be able to show it off and have people play it here at E3.
This is playable over at E3?
This is playable here at
wow.
E3, yes.
Okay.
You have to watch out for those spikes, so the environment matters. You can use the environment against the enemy if you're clever, if you know how to use your weapon, if you know how to use push attacks, this kind of stuff. We really wanted to craft, it's a dance between these two. So now he's getting pissed. So as he goes through the fight, he gains new attacks. His strategy will adapt to yours. He's gonna get tougher and tougher. As you can see, he's actually getting faster with his attacks, getting more aggressive. And I'll say this is one of the simplest bosses we have in the game. We have some super cool, unique bosses. We put a lot of effort into this.
Almost halfway there.
So that's something important that you can do. You can kind of prepare an attack, feint an attack, be able to dodge last second. Hitting an enemy in the back will actually do bonus damage. Hitting an enemy on the ground or getting them on the ground will also do bonus damage. There's quite a lot of depth. It's a very different fight system than we've ever done. And that's why we have this here at E3. It's because, we can say it till we're blue in the face. We can show awesome videos, but it's not the same if you don't feel it. And that's why we have this here. We want players to feel it and to realize, okay, yeah, it is drastically different. It is something new and hopefully something quite cool.
pretty intense here. Is he gonna make it?
I don't know. We'll have to talk to him afterwards to see how he feels about this. Wow,
He
what
took
a
like
finish.
2.5 bars of damage in like 2 shots. Wow.
What a finish.
All right. Very impressive. No mercy. That's how this crowd.
Boo. Man, this crowd is vicious. Wow.
We want blood.
We
All right. You did it.
So here,
Very cool.
thank you.
All right, well, we have a couple minutes just for a few more questions. Jump into Facebook, and of course, if you guys are watching online, you can ask your questions on Facebook with any of the panels over the next couple days. Let's see. Here's a question from Stacy Bork. She wants to know, do you get to choose which weapon you want to take into the arena battles, or are you restricted to only specific types?
So for the Gladiator arenas, we wanted it to be actually a showcase of the weapons. And we've actually crafted that experience to really be highlighted when using certain weapons. So for the arenas, you do have a loadout that you go out with. But in the world, obviously in the world, it's a different story. In the quest line, it's a different story. You actually have, obviously, whatever you have loaded on.
Yeah.
So we play with both, actually, trying to highlight equipment if you've never seen it before, because there's a ton of it. So that's in the arenas. But the bosses in the world, the bosses in the quest lines, obviously, it's the gear you have on.
Yeah.
We have bosses in the open world, so you'll come across them in certain forts and
and
military locations. So that will be obviously you'll have a unique loadout, whatever you choose there.
Open world boss.
Yeah.
Can go for probably quite a bit of area, right? Is it chasing each other?
Yeah,
actually. Contained areas, or is it sort of more open?
We have both. We have bosses that are in forts, or just optional world. We have bosses that are roaming the world who are hunting for Bayek, so I don't want to ruin the surprise of that.
All right.
Yeah, we have both. We have
cool.
guys who are on vehicles. Vehicles are really important to the combat system as well.
Yeah. All right, cool. Time for one more question from the audience. Someone hasn't asked a question yet. Any questions for the Assassin's Creed team? Yes, all right over here. Sorry. You guys this side. Start with you in the glasses right there. Probably get you a mic.
Excuse me, guys.
Thank you. I was wondering, do you learn new combos with each weapon, or do you have all the moves from the start when you get the weapon type?
No, each weapon type has its own combo set, and it's actually quite deep. You also unlock, if you go through the ability graph, you can unlock deeper and deeper combos. So actually, that devastating attack you saw with the axe, you can unlock actually a combo that launches from that attack.
Oh, nice.
You can actually have combos that launch from picking up somebody else's weapon and throwing it at someone else. There's a huge depth to the combat system.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Very cool. All right. Well, thank you so much, guys, for bringing so much
thank
gameplay
you.
to the E3 Coliseum. Lots of great
Thank you
stuff.
for
And we
having us.
have an incredible afternoon ahead for you guys. We've got Wolfenstein 2 will be up here. Matt Pat will be here shortly to talk about the world of online streaming. And then we've got Dissidia. We've got Spider-Man for PS4. And, of course, we got Jack Black and Tim Schafer a little bit later. So lots of great stuff happening. Stay in your seats. We'll be back in just a couple minutes with Matt Pat. Thanks very much, guys.
Thank you,
Appreciate
everybody.
it.
Thanks,
Bye.
Jeff. Of course, thank you. Thank you.
Really good. Yeah, thanks, guys. I'm good. Crazy couple days. More now, right? Done, right? Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Hey, Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the game theorist himself, Matt Pat.
Yeah, hey. Hey, friends. All right. Hello, upper deck of this auditorium. Thank you for coming to today's panel. How are you, sir? I'm doing very well, thank you. Thanks for being active participant in this stream. Awesome. Hey, he's holding down the fort. These guys down here are looking kind of tired. How are you guys feeling? Come on. Yes, get excited, friends. This is E3. It's like, there haven't been any good games announced. Yeah, it's all right. Blah, blah, blah. So anyway, we are here today to talk about the difference between what makes a good video game versus what makes a good game for online consumption, right? For people who are watching you either on YouTube or Twitch or LiveMe or wherever you're live streaming, what is the difference between a great graphical game that's going to take you hours to complete with a super immersive story versus what are people going to actually want to watch you play online? What's going to make you the next Markiplier or PewDiePie or, you know, Corey X Kenshin or name it. So I am here with an esteemed panel of guests who should all come out together. Here, come on, come, it's fine, it's okay. They should have introduced us all at the same time, but this is just an awkward walk-on now. It's all right. Because I could have done it one at a time, but this is raw, man. This is what it's all about. We are on the, I don't know, is it on? Check it out. No? It's all right. Don't worry about it. So anyway, I've lost my mic. There we go. If you would be so kind, down yourself to the audience.
Can I do it with this one?
I don't know, can you? I think it's on now. Nope,
Am I
not
making
on.
noises? Am I making noises? Hey, what's
Nailed
up?
it.
My name's Sohinki. You probably know, or maybe you don't know me from Smosh Games, and that's about it. I play video games online.
Wow, that's really unique.
And I'm a professional.
My mic, oh, there it is. Okay, they turned it on me. I am Pamela Horton. I am a Twitch streamer.
I'm going to join you like this, by the way.
Yeah, man, gotta get cozy. Everybody feel free to get cozy in the audience, because this is a comfortable panel.
Would anyone else like to have a solo conversation like Matt just did? Do we like, yeah, how are you doing?
Anyway,
that's the benefit
Excellent.
I have as the host, Matt. Like, as the host, I could have left you backstage the whole
could've.
time.
I would be like, when's he going to bring me on?
If you keep acting, I'm gonna send you
I'm
backstage.
sorry, I'll take my feet off the couch. I
we got it.
apologize.
But we got it.
My micro, there it is. Hey everybody, I'm Kyle Bossman. I belong to a group of streamers and video content producers called Easy Allies.
Hey. And formerly of
Game Trailers.
Game Trailers.
Yeah.
The site that I grew up watching
Me
for
too.
all of my quality gaming content. So
Sure. It bums me out.
Sure you did. Okay.
When I said Easy Allies, I was like, oh. And
because I'm very
I had my video game open, which is obviously Counter-Strike.
with the i7s and the new generations of computers, you can multitask, you can do a bunch of things. When I compete in tournaments and the whole world is watching, I really need to have the best performances and just the best tools for me to be able to succeed.
With Turtle Beach's new plug-and-play stream mic, you'll sound great no matter what you say.
Never do that!
That's
I'm a hot little potato. What are you doing? He's jumped. No, that guy's gonna punch me in the face with his power knuckles. Oh, no, he's jumped.
With Turtle Beach's stream mic, it's never been easier to sound like a streaming pro. Turtle Beach. Hear everything, say anything, defeat everyone. Plug and play with Xbox One, PS4, PC, or Mac.
Always know that you'll be safe.
I'll be here throughout your days. Come find me and we will play.
Unexpectedness are the games that are going to be best to watch you do. And also, there's that investment. If you are personally not into the game, it's not going to be an entertaining stream no matter what that game is.
So, and that begs the question then, is there a difference in the platform that you're streaming on, right? So, you know, we do a lot on the Game Theorist channel with our live stream GT Live. Any GT Livers in the audience? The one guy, yeah, hey, yeah. Well done, thank you. Everyone else is like, what the heck was that? It's all right. Maybe you should watch, huh? But we do a lot on YouTube live streaming, but I know you guys do a lot with Twitch. Like, in your opinion, what is the difference between those platforms? Do you see a difference in the type of games that really work on those platforms versus not?
Well, I think the main difference between the two platforms as far as live streaming goes is the audience that's already embedded there.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're talking about YouTube, people often, you know, became fans of the person first. Whereas I think a lot of times, I mean, I know there are a lot of personality streamers on Twitch that people have come to love, but like people that are just hopping on Twitch, it's like, well, which game do I want to watch?
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes down to YouTube live streaming, I think like people like to see those personality-driven things, whereas Twitch, it becomes a little bit more about the game and then the person playing it secondarily.
Yeah, actually, and that's something that we've seen, you know, people who watch the Game Theory stuff know that, like, I'm an uber nerd. I'm always looking at the data, and that's something that we've seen as well, where Twitch seems to be the platform that is more for the competitive scene and the hardcore gamers and the people who are like, I'm going to watch, like you said earlier, the best Rocket League player and the best Dota player and the best League of Legends, and I'm going to see them grind for hours a day, every day, doing their craft, you know, honing their game until it's time for, like, you know, the end of the season, the big tournaments, right? Whereas on YouTube, like you mentioned, you know, it's much more of a personality-driven platform, and so games like Will You Press the Button, which hardly qualifies as a game. Ooh, they're changing the lights dramatically.
It was right when you said, will you press the button? Maybe that got worked on.
Like, I will press that button.
It's a game show suddenly.
Right, but that, right? Who wants to be a millionaire? But, you know, games that don't have necessarily a lot of gameplay, like Will You Press the Button, which is really just like Would You Rather, or like Truth or Dare, or stuff like that, do so well because the online audience is so invested in what that individual creator would or wouldn't do.
I think the other distinction, too, is that when you go on Twitch, you know, I mean, I know they added IRL, but you know you're getting game stuff. Whereas even when you do a gaming channel on YouTube, you get a lot of non-gamers watching you. So the audience is more diverse in that way, too.
So my impression of Twitch is that's where fighting games are intensely popular. Like you said, competitive games, but also just like where emotes are popular, where trashy chat is popular, but also where great chat is popular. I love Twitch chat, even during EVO, even during the biggest events, even when they're being their meanest. It's so fun to just read a column of mean people running by everything you're watching.
Yeah, is that fun?
Because some of it...
Pour the hate on me!
Because some of it's true, and some of it is you actually do feel that thing about what's happening right now, and sometimes it is hilarious when somebody messes up, and sometimes it's so funny what is happening. And so, yeah, I do think that Twitch in particular, yeah, you're right. Competitive things work really well there, but like so does like a Power Rangers marathon.
Yeah.
And I think it's because of chat. It's because of that column, and I love that.
I'm with you on that, Kyle. Like I think a lot of people who watch Twitch streamers or YouTube streamers do it because they want to live vicariously, not only just observing the personality of the person that's playing, but also I may not get this game, I kind of want to check it out. And so the community creates an environment that makes it comfortable or uncomfortable to play the game. So I never used to play, I shouldn't say scary games, because I played Resident Evil, and I don't like playing them at all.
Well, it depends on when you started playing Resident Evil games,
yes.
whether you define them as scary or not.
Yeah, well,
Those are scary games. Those are scary.
Was that shots fired? Are you guys like, oh, they're all scared? They're not all scary.
No,
I'm
no.
Sorry. Resident Evil 5, I
get physically
Hot
uncomfortable. And I get physically uncomfortable, and I felt like I had a family of people behind me. Like, you can do this, Pam. You got this. And instead of like, oh, I bet you she's going to really mess up on this part. I bet this is going to happen. And I didn't get people taunting me. I got, a family. And I feel that with Twitch, I have a family of people. And it makes the gaming so much fun, like much more fun. And whenever I stream on YouTube, I mean, there's some things said that hurt feelings.
Sure. So okay.
That's me in chat. That's me, by the way.
Yeah, you're the hate guy. You're the guy.
It's like 10 different accounts.
You are just the internet troll in general. So I think that's one thing that a lot of people misunderstand. And I think it's good that, and one of the reasons why I wanted to put this panel together for E3 at the E3 Coliseum is because a lot of people just assume gaming is gaming is gaming, and live streaming is live streaming is live streaming, and all the platforms are the same, right? What is the difference between a Twitch live stream versus a YouTube live stream? But they are very different communities, and if you're looking for success and to become the next big online gamer, first and foremost, you have to match the type of games that you're playing with the platform that you're playing them on, right? All right. So that being said, I just heard that. I'm like, they're speaking loudly back there.
Yes, you are correct.
Yes, they're like, yeah, Matt, dropping knowledge. So that being said, then, that brings us to kind of the main question of the panel of what you've seen at E3 this year from the conferences, because there hasn't been much time on the floor yet. What are the games that are going to work either on Twitch or on YouTube? What are the games that people should be playing now that are going to launch them into kind of being the next gaming superstar?
I think the easy ones right off the bat that I saw were Sea of Thieves and Anthem, like those big open world games with a ton of possibilities. It's possible, and we don't know, all we saw is the gameplay demos. It's possible that Anthem is more scripted than it seems, but even in those moments, it might be like, how is he going to react when he sees this giant monster and stuff? So the sort of big open world ones with all those possibilities jump out to me immediately.
And you're saying that those are kind of going to take the crown of like GTA 5, or because
Exactly.
GTA 5 has lasted on YouTube for a really long time, and you're starting to see GTA 5 slow down.
Role
You're starting
playing
to see
on
Minecraft.
Twitch now is huge in GTA 5, so yeah, that game has had so much life from just people being able to mess around however they want. So I think those sort of are. Jeez, there's a glitch in the Matrix just now.
It was actually Ubisoft being like, how dare you say Sea of Thieves and not Skull and Bones?
The one game that I think will bridge,
It's like the Assassin's Creed guy jumps down.
Cut. And they were just here, by the way. They just left the stage.
That would be an
Backstage,
Assassin's Creed game I would
he's
totally
dead
play,
now.
by the way.
Someone behind the stage right now is ready to press Y. I'm just saying.
And then the one game, dare I say, that I think will bridge the gap between both, Dragon Ball Fighters. Oh my God, I have not been
these
excited
three people
for a
right
game.
in the front are like,
and when you watch the gameplay, like you don't even have to know about a fighting game. It just looks like your favorite parts of watching the series, just the intense fights and the like frenetic action and all the stuff going on. It looks incredible. That game will be huge on Twitch and YouTube, I think.
In my opinion, no. I think there is a gap between the current gamers and the gamers that are trying to flourish in this current community, and older gamers who like, I remember the old days, and I remember when Gabe's did this, and so I feel like with a lot of the remastered and the reimagining of older games like Shadow of the Colossus, I feel like that's one of those games that's going to get people like,
again, the three people down here.
Thank you. thank you. That's going to get people on board for games that they've never played before. It's like there's lots of people who've heard about Shadow of the Colossus that have never played it, but now they have an opportunity because, let's admit, like in the new HD graphic gaming world that we live in right now, it's really hard to go back and play old games because like when I go back and I play N64, I'm like, oh, it hurts my eyes. I can't. So now we have Shadow of the Colossus, and it'll be a lot easier to be like, hey, do you remember playing this game? I'm playing it for the first time. Enjoy this with me. And so it'll create bridge that gap.
My feeling is you got to chase whatever makes you tingle. You know what I mean? And I think if you're like,
that's on a different website, my friend. Chasing what makes you tingle. I don't think that's the streams we're talking about here, my friend.
No, because like when I watch Dragon Ball FighterZ, I'm tingling. It makes me tingle.
I had chills.
Yeah, exactly.
I have the same term, get your wigglies out. So when you get your tingles, I'm getting my wigglies out.
Super Mario Odyssey, I was wiggling. I was wiggling for 4 minutes.
Tingling.
Tingling and wiggling.
Stop tingling. And so I think that, we can't tell anyone what they should stream. Obviously, I think you should just watch what's out there.
But that's the point of the panel. We're supposed to tell them what to stream.
So I got one.
Otherwise, we're just giving them nonsense.
Can I get one not to stream?
Otherwise,
all
we're
your
just telling
own
them what
special
makes us wiggle and
flowers.
tingle.
You do you, guys. No, there's a clear formula.
Can I get one not to stream then?
What not to stream?
Okay, did you see Project Darwin in the Xbox press conference?
Oh, yeah.
Just don't stream
the guy
that.
with the shoutcaster.
Do not invest any time into that. You can tell, because I think you can sniff it. I think you can sniff. If anybody ever says, like, this is going to be a popular esport, ignore it. Yeah. Ignore that game.
It's going to change the way people see esports.
It never will.
But there was a guy, and he was yelling a lot, and he didn't stop yelling, so it was exciting.
It's getting really intense.
Unless if he made you tingle, then follow it. But I don't think anybody was tingling.
If he gave you the wigglies, come on.
No, you get your wigglies out.
Oh, you get them out?
You don't get,
oh, because you got to.
Yeah, you get the tingles, you get the wigglies out.
Right.
It's a science.
Maybe
like
the tingles
session
force
over
the
here.
wigglies out.
Are you wiggling or are you tingling right now?
No, they're all going to leave this Coliseum knowing what the tinglies are and how to get their wigglies
Yeah, but
out.
are they going to walk out of this Coliseum knowing what games to stream to make them popular? I don't care about all that garbage.
All right, what is your opinion, Matt?
Yeah, you seem to have a good idea.
Okay, my opinion, because there's a lot, and they're saying, go to Q&A, go to Q&A. Don't worry, I'm going to go to Q&A, it's fine. I already got questions, we're good. No, my opinion, honestly, is yes, we've seen a lot of fantastic games that were displayed from all the big companies, all the big publishers, but if I'm at E3 and I am looking for what is going to take off, especially on YouTube, I'm going to the indie arcade.
I was just about.
I'm going to the indie picnic. I'm going to all of the indie events because that's where some of the most unique stuff is happening. That's where some of the most surprising stuff is happening. That's where I'm going to find something new that people haven't seen before that I can tell my own story through. I can showcase my own personality through, and people are going to hop on board. I mean, the success of games like Bendy and the Ink Machine on YouTube, which the one guy who's like, yeah, Bendy. Let's be honest, the game doesn't have any sort of gameplay at all. Like, we're 2 chapters in and you like hack apart a couple of ink monsters. But that game has been, ink monsters! But that game has been so successful because it has a different aesthetic. It has a different look, and it feels so fresh and new in an industry where, yes, they're producing great, high-quality 4K gigaflop graphics, which is fine, and that's great, but as far as an online teraflops, gigaflops, most flops I could ever want in a game. But it's one of those things where, like, if I play an Assassin's Creed, where do I insert my personality into that game? I don't, because it's all pre-scripted and it's all being filtered through the lens of this one, character and it's a great story, but is it my story? And a lot of times it's not, right? And so I think that's a big difference there.
You took that all philosophical. I feel like my life has changed.
See, this is the sort of thing we're talking about here.
I'm moved.
Well,
this is why his channel is successful.
Just live stream yourself dropping philosophical knowledge. That's all you need. But that's one, and also obviously Life is Strange is another huge. Yeah, see, that gets people excited. Yes. That one. I don't know if people have been paying attention to it, if like people who aren't fans of that game know what it is, but that's the one that's the existing audience is there. They're eager for more. That's one that's going to take off too. Yep. All right, so. Let's hop into the questions. We're going to take questions from the audience, but first we have one that came in on Facebook a couple minutes ago. This is on Facebook Live, coming in from Seventh Sword. How do you get your name out there, especially due to oversaturation? It seems that there is a negative stigma to new small YouTubers and streamers who advertise themselves. So how do you combat that?
I think, first of all, don't advertise your channel in the comments section of other channels.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That's
It
a
just
good one. But I
never-
create such quality content. Click here.
Yeah. it always seems, there's just always this like gross feeling about that. I don't know, but what I would say is, and it's the hard answer, but it's just consistency, keeping at it, and then, you know, reaching out to people. Like, if someone lists a business email address, and be like, hey, here's my channel, like, I would love to do a collaboration. And maybe you're not reaching out to MatPat right away because he's a very busy guy and he's doing a lot of work. But there might be a channel, because he's a very busy guy and he's doing a lot of stuff. But, you know, there might be a channel that has maybe, you know, a few thousand more subs than you or something that you can reach out to and then partner with. And people are like, wow, I really like these guys. And then, you know, you build from there. So the answer is that it's a slow process, and some people got lucky and had overnight success, but there's a lot of new YouTubers. I don't know if you watched Rewind. There's so many new YouTubers out there that are doing great, that are just sticking to it and keeping their schedule tight and doing what I said, reaching out and collabing with people.
The key to doing anything that you love is you have to have a profound amount of patience. No matter what it is that you're doing, it could be streaming, could be gaming, but you have to be the most patient and understand that you're going to have to put in a lot of groundwork. You're going to have to deal with the haters. You're going to have to deal with people saying that you're not good enough, you're not big enough, and remember that you have self-worth. Remember that the person that you want to be, make yourself 10 years from now your hero, and strive to be that person, and be patient and understand it's going to take a long time to get there, but it's worth it, I promise.
When Kyle's in the chat and he's getting you down, you gotta just keep going.
Yeah. Because I'm there. Because actually, I'm there. There's always one of me.
We got to get you more work to do, man. If you're just hanging around in all these chats, like dropping hate.
But I also feel like, just suck for a long time. You're going to suck for a long time. And when you say be consistent, I think that's part of it, is because no matter what, if you keep working, you do get better.
Consistently suck.
Yeah.
Practice.
Yeah.
But it really is good advice. Consistently suck and then suck less the next time.
Yeah.
No, and that's actually a great advice. I mean, even when we started Game Theory, like, I didn't know anything about editing videos, but each new video that I uploaded, I'm like, I'm gonna learn and grow and try to make this next one better and better and better. And like the first one, it's like the end song just blows your eardrums out. I apologize, headphone users. And everyone's like, normalize your audio. And I'm like, what the heck is normalizing audio? And I look it up and I'm able to do it. And I did that from then on. And it was like animation and this and that. And you're able to kind of one up your game, absolutely. From the cold analytical heart that I have, search engine optimization. Remember that Twitch, remember that YouTube, remember that all these platforms function on searchability, right? When I'm going to watch a game, I'm typing in the name of the game. So if your title is best Let's Play ever, that doesn't tell me what game you're actually playing. And YouTube needs that, and Twitch needs that to like cycle, hey, this guy's actually playing Minecraft. This guy's actually playing Life is Strange. This person's playing Rocket League. And so you get suggested against other games. Make sure that you put it in the title. Make sure you put it in the tags. It's simple stuff like that that helps you get more views, and it's stuff that people always forget and don't place the level of importance on that they should.
Take notes, guys.
There are actual tools where you can say, like, does this term do better than this term in Google? And then you realize, oh no, this one that I wasn't going to use is better, and then you put that.
What is that tool? What is that?
It's called Google Trends.
Google Trends.
Google Trends. Just type it in google.com/trends.
I have no idea.
It is.
He was planted on this
It is
panel.
the best. It is the best tool. It's so useful, and it helps you determine what's more searchable, FNAF or Five Nights at Freddy's, because they have different searchabilities.
Huh.
And you can divide it by website and based on YouTube. Like, you can parse it that low.
That's
so
insane.
They're saying please wrap up. I got 2 minutes left. Hold up. Let's do one more question from the audience. I saw your hand earlier. I don't know if I'm supposed to get you a microphone, so you could just shout really loud.
They got a mic on the way.
Oh, here. Oh, never mind. Here they come.
Huge fan, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, huge. I've been there since, like you said, with your audio and everything.
I remember when you sucked more than you suck now. Thank you.
Yeah. So I guess I just wanted to ask, because there was one theory that I always kind of found interesting, and then I was wondering, when is he going to do it? When is he going to do it? And I'm here at E3 2017, finally, after working 8 years to get to meet you. Will you ever?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Will you ever do a Squall is dead theory from Final Fantasy VIII? Squall is dead.
Now you have to. You're locked in.
You're locked in.
Oh,
it's
yeah, no.
live. It's
I'm
out
developing my own game, My own RPG.
Hashtag shameless self-promotion. It's all right.
Oh,
Don't worry about it. Hey, seize the day, man. Rock it. Rock that mic.
I'm not gonna mention the name or who I am, so no self-promotion. But I did started playing JRPG, so that way I could learn what not to do. And Final Fantasy VIII was one of those. Okay, that I know not to do that. So, but because I started playing it, and I said, MatPat is so awesome with his theories, and there's been a theory that Squall is dead, and I just started putting the pieces together, and I wanted to do a video, and I said, no, I don't want to put myself out there and kind of not do what the awesome job that you would do if you would do it. So that's my question.
Thank you. Well, first off, never be afraid to put yourself out there, man. Like, even if I am doing my own theory on it, or, someone else is doing a let's play of a game, or someone else is doing a review or whatever, you are unique, right? And your voice is what's going to shine through in your content, right? Like, a lot of people have done a lot of similar theories about Pixar theory or whatever. Like, I mean, that applies to me, but everyone has played Minecraft. Everyone's played all these games, but it's what you bring to the table that makes it unique and different, right? So never be ashamed to put yourself out there and do something, even if someone else is going to do it. So first off. And secondly, yes, I will absolutely do Final Fantasy VIII at some point in the future. Yeah!
Probably the biggest E3 announcement here, ladies
and
gentlemen.
There it is. You heard it here for teraflops of gaming with my Final Fantasy VIII theory. They'll probably come out as we hear more news about like Final Fantasy VII, just because right now, people are like, nah.
SEO, you need that SEO.
Yeah, exactly, right? Timing is everything. There's a reason why a Super Mario Odyssey theory came out in the day before Super Mario Odyssey got more information from Nintendo. That's called strategery.
Strategery.
So anyway, that is it. We have taken up way too much time. So thank you all for being such a great audience.
Thank you,
everybody.
Thank you for listening to us all suck. Kyle, Pam, Mr. Matt Sohinky, thank you all for joining me on stage. Have a great E3 and enjoy yourselves.
See you guys.
Coming up in just a few minutes, Wolfenstein 2. On Sunday night, this game got revealed, and now the team from Machine Games is here to talk Wolfenstein 2. First, check out this trailer.
Here you go, Peggy. There's everything your mother ordered and a ration card. And here's a lakritz schnecker just for you.
Good nutrition is a matter of state security.
Diesel, no! No! Stop it, Diesel!
Now is where it gets really exciting on America's #1 game show. Okay, hands on your buzzers. Here we go.
Yes, the most wunderbar so.
Darker shade, darling, darker shade. Thank you for all the joy and pain. Picture show, second balcony was the place we'd meet. Second seat, go Dutch treat, you were sweet.
The old and the weak are doomed.
for you to wake up.
You've gotten so fat.
It says we're having twins.
Frau Engel. She's been hunting for you. She's been moving heaven and earth, and today she found you.
You think you're a hero, William Joseph Leskovich?
Monsters did this.
Not monsters. Men.
We gotta put the fighting spirit back in the American people.
Just who the fuck are you, white boy?
We're organizing for a revolution in America.
We?
Now listen, Terry Billy, I respect your ambition, but there's nothing can be done no more. The world is sank into the crapper, and all we can do now is drink this whiskey and watch the vortex suck it all down.
I got kids on the way, and I'll be damned if I'm gonna raise them in a world run by these Nazi assholes. You take freedom away from the American people, you're playing with fire. And I intend to pour some gasoline.
An American fucking spirit.
Hey, little fella. What are you doing? It's dangerous here. You have to be so quiet. We gotta go.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host, No Clips, Danny O'Dwyer.
Hey, what's up? How you guys doing? Oh, you can do better than that. Come on. It's the first day of E3. Come on. You need to shout out because the next two gentlemen who are coming out have come all the way from Sweden. So they need a nice... This is their first E3 in about 4 years because the last time they showed off a game, it wasn't public. You couldn't have just other people coming in here. There's a massive, like, crammed show floor out there at the moment. So they're expecting a nice big cheer. Isn't that right? Yeah, okay. So let's have a warm welcome, like it's the Eurovision, for Jörg and Jens from Machine Games. You're there. First of all, congratulations for being the most casually dressed person who's been on the stage probably all week, right?
When I was doing the live stage at Bethesda, somebody ran up and said, you have to close your shorts because I think my balls were hanging out.
I can't see from here, but are his balls hanging out right now? If you're watching on Facebook, please let us know if Jens's balls are hanging out. We're live. Welcome, by the way, to the E3 Expo Facebook live stream here. We're delighted to have you all here. We're delighted to have you watching if you're watching live on Facebook. At the moment, be it on your browser or your phone or you probably do that on an Xbox One now as well and everything, right?
Sorry, what are you asking?
I don't know. What's the shirt mean?
Yeah, if you like the same band that I do, you will know it.
So I don't like the same band. Okay.
No.
It's just like your cool filter.
Yes,
okay.
That's exactly what it is.
Is it an ABBA reference?
No.
Okay, so I guess so. Great to have you guys here. Great to show off Wolfenstein. I don't know where to start with this, to be completely honest. We just saw the trailer. You had pregnant ladies stabbing Nazis, popping LSD tabs and seeing cartoon lizards. I guess you just... The first Wolfenstein was so, like, obscure and absurd. I guess it's a hard thing to sell a second time. Like, people know the level your guys are at. So did you just have to, like, crank it up to, like, 12 or 13? Is that
pretty much, yeah.
That's basically happened?
Yeah, we had to dial it up.
Right. Tell us, first of all, I'm going to talk about the narrative stuff a little bit, because obviously at the end of the first game, if we can call it the first Wolfenstein at this stage, you know, PJ's not in a great state. It's kind of up in the air whether or not he's actually going to survive at all.
Yeah.
Grenade to the face will kind of do that to you.
Yeah.
It's pretty broken.
Right.
Yeah, this game is a direct sequel, so it starts immediately after.
Immediately after.
Yeah, immediately after when the first game left off.
Okay.
This one picks up.
Right. So I guess everything. So what we've seen takes place in America right after.
Yeah, most of it does.
Yeah?
But so in the first game, you stole this Nazi nuclear aircraft carrying submarine.
Yeah.
And that's sort of the base.
You know, we all remember that scene from Saving Private Ryan.
Well, it's the biggest submarine in the whole Nazi fleet, and that's become the resistance headquarters for this game. And the core idea that the resistance have is to liberate America and thereby create a platform to liberate the rest of the world.
Right. And I guess when you made the first game, you guys, Machine Games, had worked on a lot of popular games, like especially critically acclaimed games that maybe never got their just due for a sequel. Like The Chronicles of Riddick is a game that I think probably, yeah, we got some love for that.
Oh, thank you.
Wonderful game, and you know, a lot of people would have loved to have seen a sequel to that. I'm sure that was very complicated why it didn't happen. When you were making the Wolfenstein reboot all those years ago, did you think you'd be able to get a sequel? Did you think you'd be making a second one?
We certainly hoped for it.
Yeah, I mean, our plan from the beginning has been to make it into a trilogy.
Into a trilogy?
Yeah. So
I think you have to speak up.
That's still the plan. It depends, of course, how it goes with this one, but it's always been the plan to do 3 parts.
So were you writing that first game with a mind to the sequel, or is it the type of thing where you're like, okay, we need to kind of
No,
stretch
like
out
me
these
and
characters?
my co-writer told me we think ahead all the time. So we have an sort of the arc for the individual game, but also sort of the meta arc of all of the games.
Right.
And yeah, it's amazing for us because we've never made a sequel before.
Right. Machine Games been around for like a good decade and change, right?
Yeah, and before that we were at Starbreeze. We've been making games for 19 years, so it's a long time, but we never had the opportunity to make a sequel. And that's amazing because we're doing it now from sort of our own platform.
Right.
Where so we've seeded a lot of ideas in New Order, like the main antagonist is Frau Engel, which is very properly introduced in New Order.
Right.
And she's now the main antagonist in this game. And we're able to, basically cash in all of that stuff.
Which I guess
is wonderful.
That's a big problem with a lot of games where, because like Death's Head was obviously a big antagonist in the first game, but if you hadn't have like laid that seed down, then you'd have to reinvent an entire new antagonist at the start of this game.
Well, exactly.
I just answered your question. For you.
I'm sorry, Keely bought me a drink before, so I'm a little bit tipsy.
That's the trick. He butters up everyone before they come on stage, right? Was there LSD in that drink? Is that what it was? How many lizards?
Who knows? It takes like half an hour for it to kick in. So.
Was that part of your research?
It was part of my youthful research, yes. But, which is ironic because the scene that's at the end of the trailer, it seems to kick in immediately, but that character Wyatt has been dozing all day, so... Of course, that's not explained in that scene. But anyway.
Okay, there you go. A hot exclusive for everyone here at the Coliseum at E3. Look, we got a crowd full of mostly Americans. Shout out if you're American. Shout out if you're European. Got some in the back. There's a couple of people from Britain and they're not really sure if they should shout for European anymore. So we've got a bunch of Americans here. Whereabouts? I saw New Orleans in one of the scenes. What parts of America will we be going to in the new Colossus?
We're going to be in New York as well. And we also saw a scene from Roswell, New Mexico.
Oh, cool. All the.
And there, of course, a little bit more as well, but we don't reveal everything right now.
Right.
Is there someone from Roswell here? Was that what I heard?
Mexico.
Ah, nice.
There's a really tall, pale thing with massive eyes back there that says that's putting their hands up for Roswell. Okay. It's an alien joke, get it? Cheers, guys. Should have had a drink before we came on stage. So I guess, I mean, what are the sort of things that happened? We'll get to gameplay stuff in a little bit, and we've got another little teaser of something to show that you guys brought along. Thanks so much for that. But what type of stuff, like, in terms of narrative, you've obviously got areas to go to. You've got, like, you know, things that you've planted that you can follow up on. But in terms of gameplay, like, the gameplay in Wolfenstein is such a such a tight package. Like, it's basically a lot of like murderous killing, and then kind of the surprising element was the stealth stuff. I think a lot of people kind of weren't really expecting that. But where do you go for a sequel for this? Because obviously, like 5 years in first-person shooter time is a lifetime.
Yeah, I mean, we've done a complete overhaul of the play right now, and I mean, Wolfenstein is all about heavy weapons and this over-the-top crazy combat, and of course we are trying to top that now, which I think we will. And in stealth in particular, I think for me, Wolfenstein stealth is more about not trying to, you know, sneak by people. It's more about sneaking through people,
right?
Basically. So, and that is also it's seen it. You know, it's for Wolfenstein. You know,
right.
That's the way you play it. But of course, we support all free play styles. You can sneak around, you can do more tactical combat, you can do the mayhem combat, or just the crazy gun spacing. But yeah, that's been a big focus this time to put a lot of freedom into the player hands when performing and moving around in combat scenarios.
Yeah, we have a huge amount of sort of ways to tackle scenarios, so it's very much up to the player how they want to do that. Different ways to traverse things, different ways to. We have this one thing called the Battle Walker, which basically allows you to. It's some sort of mechanical stilts,
right.
So you can get up high and shoot over covers, and you can take high cover, which is pretty cool.
That's the tactical ability then.
Right.
Then we have one for the stealthy and for the more guns blazing player as well.
Yeah, like me.
Like you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is like, that's an interesting sort of element to a game that a lot of people would kind of, you know, have always assumed is like no holds barred, like shooting nonsense. Where, like, I'm kind of fascinated as to why even the stealth stuff got melded into that first game. Is that just, I mean, with Starbreeze especially, you think about a lot of your games, like we talked about Riddick and folks were shouting about that. Like, that's a game that was like, stealth was really integral to it and was done very well in the sort of unique elements as well. Yeah, so like, has that always been part of your
I mean, for me, it's always been like, if we give something to the player, or whatever player is able to do, we should be able to do it.
Right.
And you know, if you decide not to shoot the weapon, of course you should be able to sneak around instead. And we also, of course, we have the takedowns, and there is a possibility to take down enemies silently.
Right.
Which we enforce, of course.
Yeah, we basically reevaluated everything that we think is like really cool Wolfenstein's type stuff, and built it back up from the core ideas. So we don't for sort of close-up kills, we don't have a knife anymore. We have a hatchet.
Okay.
Which is very good for amputation and sort of gory stuff.
Is that part of your youthful research as well? That's maybe
I'll reserve comment.
Right. We've got a little trailer to show in a second as well, actually. But I just want to ask first of all, the style of the first game was incredibly stylish. You know, it had a lot of, you know, it reminded me of a certain Tarantino movie a little bit as well. What have you decided to go for with the style of this game? Because obviously it's a different era. Are we in the 60s now, kind of looks like?
Yeah, and we were there in the New Order as well, in the 60s. But of course, now we're in America, so it's a lot of this sort of Americana stuff. But it's been subverted by the Nazis. So the term we have internally for that is Germericana.
Okay.
But that sort of, that flows through everything. And like they have lots of projects because America very much was founded on the idea of freedom. So of course, when Nazi oppression rolls in, like how are they going to get the public on, you know, able to suppress public opinion, right? So they have tons of propaganda and all of these things, and they're what's rapidly approaching is changeover day when all of the US changes over to German.
Right.
Yeah,
So that's like part of the television bits are kind of
yeah.
that sort of.
So this thing German or else that's like
Right.
the propaganda machine is encouraging people to learn German.
All right, yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful language, of course. Let's have a look at one of those advertisements. Is it Blitzmensch? Is that right?
Blitzmensch.
Lightning Man.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, let's check out the trailer for Lightning Man.
On a routine transatlantic Zeppelin flight, Olympic decathlete Dieter Goldwitzer was struck by lightning and transformed into... Starring Hubertus von Strockfitz as Blitzmensch, Sabina Vogel as Fräulein Fox, and this week's enemy, special guest star Franz Lutold Sonnenschein as the Illegal Eagle.
So, yeah, round of applause for Blitzmensch.
Yeah.
So, how much of your budget exactly did you spend making dumb commercials?
An insane amount. No, it's that was actually the first time I saw that full thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was amazing. But it really is, you know, just all of the sort of villains in this show are like core American ideals.
Right.
It's a cool way to subvert the.
Was The Man in the High Castle, like, obviously the book is, you know, that was Philip K. Dick wrote that a long time ago, but the TV show, would that like come out while you were in development?
Yeah, I guess so. It's fun because we at that point we didn't get Amazon in Sweden, Amazon streaming.
You still didn't have Amazon in Sweden?
No, we have it
Right.
now. We have
Okay.
it now, but I still haven't seen it because it's a hard question because I don't really want to. I don't want, in one way, I don't want to see it
Yeah.
because I don't want to be influenced by it. But it's cool because a lot of our actors are also on that show.
Right.
Yeah.
So if I told you right now that there was a show called Blitzmensch on The Man in the High Castle, you wouldn't be able to say if that was true or not?
That's correct.
Okay, all right. There's not, don't worry, you're good.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, like, I mean, you know, Wolfenstein was always like an interesting game from a cultural reason, just because of the nature of the era it was set in and the sort of like, I don't know, revenge story, the Nazi revenge story that's going on. I feel like that was an easier thing to do 5 years ago. Like, just especially with the American setting, like, you know, there's a complicated conversation happening right now.
Things have changed.
Right, within culture. How does that make you feel? Does that make you, like, more worried I mean, you're all in now anyway, so you can't pull back, but how much of a challenge is that, especially as a writer, to, like, sort of...
I prefer not to comment because
Right.
I don't want to be assassinated.
Right, okay. I guess, is there an element of, like, if you go in so far and you're almost like, it's the fact that it's a world, it's so different to our contemporary world, like it almost feels like an alternative universe thing. I'm sure that probably helps in some respect.
Fingers crossed,
Okay,
yes.
right. Then I guess in terms of, like, we touched upon the gameplay stuff a little bit, but what else was there that you wanted to do? You know, you talked about the ability to get through the levels in different ways. There was obviously an element of that in the New Order and the Old Blood as well. But was there anything else that you wanted to do in this game that you didn't get around to the last one, or stuff that you wanted to do to differentiate this from the last game? Or is the style kind of doing that?
Yeah, there are a couple of things in particular. One of the things are something we call the district. Like Jens talked about the submarine. That's also something that the submarine is the game hub right now. So in the hub, then we have a war map, and through that war map, you can revisit locations you've previously been in the main campaign, which allows to to let players go back to replay combat scenarios they think are fun, find missed out collectibles. Because that was, if in New Order, then you have to go out to the main menu and go through the chapter browser to be able to do that. So that's a pretty big thing for us, that you can complete the game within the game now.
Right.
That's one of the things, one of the big things. The other thing is that you can now freely dual wield weapons in any combination, which is super fun. We talked about stealth previously, and dual wield is very efficient if you just want to go in and guns blazing. But it's also very rewarding to have a silenced weapon in one hand, and then you have a full
death machine.
Yeah.
In the other.
A fully automatic shotgun in the other.
Yeah.
It's a very, very good, powerful backup if you should get detected. So yeah, those two things are something that I think is we wanted to do for New Order, but
didn't get around to.
No, didn't get around.
Well, it's so much fun too, because that's what I love about the stealth in our games is it's not like it's game over if you fail the stealth.
Right.
You just
Like game on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, and it's pretty fun as well with the alarm system we have, and if the thing is that we have these commanders. And if you take out the commander before the alarm goes off, then no reinforcements come, right? So, but if you want to, go in and just kill people with dual wield shotguns, you can just kill, skip killing the commander, and the alarm will go off, and then you will have more enemies to kill.
Awesome. We haven't got all that much time left, so I want to make sure we get some of our folks watching. Of course, you're watching the E3 Expo Facebook live stream. If you have any questions, stick them in the chat, and we'll try and get as many to them, the guys, as possible. First one here comes in from Matt Murphy. He says, so much effort goes into just fleshing out the world in these games. With a lot of first-person shooters, you tend to be put in a world that is, there's a little bit of exposition. This is what's going on. Go kill all the baddies. Why do you put so much effort into crafting the world, especially when, with linear games, you do breeze through quite a lot of it quite quickly?
Yeah, but we always try to make it so it's up to the player. Some games have almost put a clock on you and forces you through a level as rapidly as possible, but that's not ours. Our games are much more exploratory, and you can take your time and you can do it at your own pace. And if you want to, you can spend a lot of time finding things and so forth. But I think we just love this world. It's wonderful to think about it and explore ideas, and so we have and it's the full spectrum, because it's one of it is the military component and the technological component, but it's also the cultural component. So it's a fascinating world, and it's fascinating to work on.
If you have any more questions, get them in. Brandon asks, where did the idea for the game come from? I should have read that question before it came out. id Software, I believe, is the answer to that one. Maybe. Yeah. Speaking of id Software, actually, how different is the world of first-person shooters now? Because there seems to be this revival of straight-up linear single-player. We Bethesda. We had Doom last year, Dishonored, Prey. There's the System Shock reboots coming out as well. What do you think about that? Does that even come into it with you guys? Do you just make the game you want to make, or do you think it's good for everyone that there's more of these narrative-based single-player games?
Yeah, I think it's great, and I also think that there is an opportunity now. We have the possibility now to make. Even though we still do linear story-driven games. There are very much linear, but we have much more freedom to have a bigger, combat arena or combat scenario. So there's a lot more freedom within the specific locations, rather than just having a super linear story. We can evolve that a lot, which I think is great.
Yeah, and more to, was it Eric?
Brandon.
Brandon's question. We actually, when we sort of entered the Bethesda sphere,
right.
The first, because we were diehard Wolfenstein fans from the early days. We're a lot older than we look. Especially me. But so we went to id Software, and we started thinking. We spent 3 weeks there brainstorming ideas.
In Richardson, in the offices there?
Back then it was in Mesquite.
Oh, right. God, that was a while ago. When was that then?
About 2010
or
All right,
11,
okay.
I don't know. Yeah, 10, I guess. But we were there, and we had all of these ideas, and the sort of the core idea that we really liked was Nazis won the war, because
Right.
it was never like that in the earlier Wolfenstein games. They were always during the war, but we thought during the war would be the weapons would be too boring. So we wanted sort of an alternate history technology thing going.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we came up with this concept, and we thought they will never go
Yeah.
for this. And we started writing out on the whiteboard various ideas. So we had like 5 ideas, and we said, are we really going to drop this in? This
Going to the moon.
So finally we decided, okay, let's put this Nazis won the war
Right.
idea on there. And then we brought it in, and they just looked at the board and pointed to Nazis won the war and like, that's awesome. We want to do that. So that's how that thing got blessed, and we're
Excellent.
really, really happy with it.
What was that like going to see Kevin Cloud and all the folks?
Oh
who worked on
yeah, that was
That was
surreal.
really amazing.
Yeah, because they were our hero. Like both me and Jarek, we started as Quake modders.
Oh right.
I'm such a super big Quake fan as well, and seeing Tim Willits then, it was really nice.
And
Such a nice guy as well.
In the sort of early mid '90s, people hadn't invented blogs or Twitter, or none of that was around. So they had like the point plan files or whatever.
the plan files.
The it gang. So I remember at the job I had at the time, I was all the time sneaking off and checking their updates, So and then you get to meet these people and who have been your heroes for all of your life, and you're like, hello, sir. And then it turns out they're all amazing and wonderful. So
Well, what does it
That's
feel like
cool.
to be part of this? Like, there's an amazing thing happening with Bethesda and with id in terms of rejuvenating old IP, especially first-person IP. And I mean, in a way, I kind of look at a game like Prey and I think, oh, that's a System Shock, kind of sort of like a reimagining as well. But like, we now live in a world where the Doom reboot was fantastic. Like who saw that coming? But years,
did.
right? Probably. But like years earlier, it was the same with Wolfenstein: The New Order. I mean, Wolfenstein is it's an old game. It's it's a first-person shooter. There wasn't all that much to go on. It was just really popular and really amazing at the time. A lot of reasons for the technological reasons. But then you guys came out and just there was this like wonderful rebirth that had happened to that, which is sort of echoed through what those studios have been doing. You must be incredibly proud of that as fans of id and of those games.
It's amazing. I think a lot of it is because Bethesda have such immense confidence in their developers. So you're able to really sort of stretch yourself creatively and do things that, if that was put under like a focus group or whatever, then that would never even be in the game.
Right.
But they trust us to do stuff, and they trust all of their studios. So that's, I think, the reason why really interesting stuff arrives.
Looking at the trailer, I can imagine quite a lot of stuff would get scrubbed from a focus group in that. Thank you so much for coming on and chatting to us here at the E3 Expo Facebook live stream stage. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Before we wrap up, it's coming out pretty soon, right?
Yeah, October 27.
On what platforms?
On PC, Xbox One, and PlayStation 4.
Nintendo Switch?
We'll see what happens in the future.
All right.
But
Good stuff. Round of applause, please, for Jens.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. All right, I think the ghostly voice of Jeff Keighley will tell you what's coming up next. Jeff, are you there?
Danny, I'm
There.
here.
Oh, Jesus Christ, where is he?
I'm all around you. Coming up next, the city of Final Fantasy in just a few minutes. Stick around. We got a great afternoon of content for you at the E3 Coliseum. Coming up next, the city of Final Fantasy NT. Then we'll also be hearing from some other games this afternoon. There's a big panel coming up on Spider-Man for PlayStation 4. And of course later, Jack Black, Tim Schafer, and a special panel about Project Scorpio hosted by Major Nelson. That'll be at 5 o'clock. But right now, let's start with a look at the city of Final Fantasy NT.
This 美しい世界が見えますか？
スクエア・エニックス。
これはかりそめの
東映テクモゲームス。チーム忍者。
ここは滅びゆく世界なのです。どうか皆さん、私の世界を
ディシディア・ファイナル・ファンタジー。
力を。
離れマテリア。ここは俺の世界だ。さあ、お前たち。滅びゆく我が世界のために戦え。
光は我らと共にある。俺自身で決着をつけさせてくれ。みんなでかかれば一瞬だよね。どんな試練も乗り越えてみせる。行くぞ、風の赴くままに。
未来のために戦う。
星よ、答えを見せろ。俺のそばから離れるな。
誰かを助けるのに理由がいるかい？
すぐに終わらせてやるからな。
出会ったことを後悔させてあげますわ。
これは俺の仕事だ。
やるしかなければやるだけだ。行くわよ。集中なさい。私の記憶に残る戦士の姿。
かつて俺に捧げられた戦士の力、共に自由に使うがよい。
さあ、私の世界へ。
Please welcome your host, Matt Kishimoto.
Hello, everybody. Thanks so much for coming out. Thanks to everybody tuning in online. We're excited to be here to talk about the city of Final Fantasy NT. So I have some special guests.